You just feel they've gone inside 50 a few times and haven't been able to score a goal. You feel one's coming. The opposite at the other end. The Dockers very confident when they're inside forward 50. Archer to a 2-on-1 contest. The punch came from Pavlich over the back. King off one step, just banging it forward. Pickett underneath it. Couldn't quite get the mark. Free kick. Play on the advantage. It falls to Lee Harding. This will be their first. He runs in and kicks the goal. And some Kangaroos fans are happy. They're on the board for the goals.
Well, there's a good coaching move because Drew Petrie's just come off the field, replaced by Lee Harding, who's just charged onto the field in the forward line. Last week he booted 4 goals. He always looks like he can kick a goal. He's an exciting young player.
4 goals last weekend. He's continuing his good work here this afternoon. Both sides, we've got Teague and we've got McFarlane, both adding extra men in defence there. So that was a great performance there to be able to take on 2, Pickett and Harding picking up the crumbs and kicking a goal.
Dennis Pagan actually making plenty of changes. Brady Rawlings on the field and Shane Clayton. Benny Robbins came off and he's just gone back on. Brent Harvey has come off, so he's not scared to move him around.
Slapped the ball on. McPhee tries to tickle the ball on the ground. Drew Petrie goes to ground as well. McPhee chases Harvey, who shows him the ball, just tried to feign the hand pass, backtracks, conceded ground to Mighty Mick Martin around the corner. Needing a kind bounce that time was Woods, got an ugly one. Taken by Spider to the square. Rocker! Too big, too strong, too good. And Spider Burton, just so agile for one his size, tallest man ever to play the game.
He's been absolutely tremendous since he's been here at the Roos.
Now Farmer is off. This could be a blow, certainly for the Dockers, if he can't come back on. Looks like he was pointing to his shoulder, and Rocker should kick a goal straight through the centre.
It's Rocker then was just pure strength and a lot of nous and experience, which enabled him to fend off his opponent and to be able to take that mark.
Got an ugly bounce there, did Dion Coops, and very quick hands that time coming from Dylan Smith, one of the young players for the Kangaroos, and that's just good strength and good body positioning.
Coops didn't really attack it enough, Kevin. I think
Woods.
he just conceded that it was going to get past Woods. Sorry.
Mark Doran.
Pitches there, KB, that Dockers fans will not want to see. It probably looks a little bit worse there than it actually is, but an injury to the neck of Jeff Farmer, who actually called the runner out earlier on. Didn't want to come off, but they've made him come off to have a look at it. And an injury to that part of the body is never good. Debutant Roger Hayden on for Farmer.
And there is just a clever tap from McManus. Got one high, and advantage was paid.
Dockers by 31 points, and Robbins feeling the heat that time from Cook, does well, gets the ball across to Stevens, just tries to tumble the ball inside 50. McFarlane's been very good in defence, beaten this time by Petrie, who's bouncing the ball, and bounces it through. So that young man, Drew Petrie, just playing his second game last week, booted 3 goals. And today he's been on and off the ground once or twice. He's a big boy, and he has kicked a goal. He can take a mark, but he's done well here because McFarlane, I think, has been a very good defender today. And look at that great hands there by Petrie, and that's a very clever kick. Well done by that young man.
Tackle from Coops just coming across the shoulder.
Byron Pickett's just come onto the ground too, replacing Lee Harding. Byron's had no influence on the game so far.
Just the 3 possessions for Pickett. This is Baird. Chance for Big Severio. And he's finished it off.
Well, in fact, there was in the crowd then, there was a few oohs and ahs when he actually dropped that mark, but a lot of players are having a lot of trouble right of screen because obviously the sun is in their eyes there, and we've seen a lot of players shielding their eyes from the sun, and I think even Severio dropped that, but it was good enough to recover.
So Big Sav gets his second.
Well, it's an understatement, Matthew, to mention that they certainly needed that, and but it's going to be very interesting this last 10 minutes to see if they can get back into the game.
Tried to just bullock his way out of trouble, and again wrapped up by Parker.
Harvey needs to lift for the Roos, Kevin. He's only had 5 or 6 touches to this stage. Norris has done a good job on him so far, but he's a fine player and he needs to lift.
There's Troy Cook, ready to come back onto the field. Chance for Stevens, needs a kind bounce. Squeezed up in the pocket and kicks a goal. A super goal by Anthony Stevens. And the Kangaroos just keep on coming. Just when you think the Dockers are starting to get away from the Kangaroos, they'll keep bouncing back. They are a very efficient side, and this is a terrific snap by the skipper.
I'll tell you what I liked about that, Russell, was that he didn't try and swing it around the corner. He kicked a drop punt with just a bit of hook on it.
Yeah, look, he knows where the goals are. He's kicked plenty of goals in his career. Look, to get a goal like that from the captain really is inspirational. Just when we thought maybe Freo's going to get 1 or 2 more goals, the contest could be over, bang, they've come back and kicked 2 goals. And exactly like last week, they're very resilient and they just refuse to lay down.
They've got the margin back to 18 points, still with 9 minutes remaining in the first half.
Spider Burton coming off KB for the Kangaroos. The first time he's off and Porter's on.
Simmons getting first use of the ball. Pickett needs to lift for the Kangaroos. Carries the ball to centre wing now, backs himself in. Long kick. Pounced on this time by Sinclair, but the whistle is gone. And the free kick is going to come back, and it's going to the Kangaroos. And Digby Morrell. So let's have a look. Being held here, you can see there by Pavlik, so it was well picked up. Well, they trail by just 18 points, the Kangaroos. This to bring it back to 12. If that's the case, at one stage they trail by 31 points in the second quarter. So Morrell from just 35 metres out. Straight through the centre.
We mentioned before that they might try something like this, Matty. They did it last week against St Kilda and they had results straight away. They've kicked the last 3 goals. Maybe we might get... Dennis might try and get Lee Harding back onto the ground because he's got tremendous pace and he can run into that arc. So it's very interesting. It's crunch time now for the Dockers. They have to stand up now.
Lovely finish by Digby Morrell. 3 goals in a row to the Kangaroos. Margin back to 2 with 6 minutes remaining. So the momentum definitely with the Kangaroos at the moment. Over 63 possessions in the last 2 games. Not to be this afternoon.
He's only had 6 up today.
So he has been in sparkling form. And obviously Chris Connolly was very aware of that. The job has been done by Jason Norris. He's been very good. Here's a chance for King. Breaks free, gets inside 50, off 1 step, can kick a long goal, gets it back and kicks a beauty.
Well, he's a team lifting player, is David King. He can generate a bit of excitement with the Kangaroos, and you can see him there trying to pump him up. He's got plenty of pride.
He's done it for years, Kevin. He's done it for absolute last 6 or 7 or 10 years. I mean, he is one bloke. He's full of. He's a very confident player. But tell you what, he does. He can run the lines. He can kick those big goals, and that's something that hopefully will spark the Roos here now.
The Dockers by 18 points, 10-5-65. The Kangaroos 7-5-47. Gets around Teague, just tumbles the ball forward. Cook beaten this time by Harvey, who hasn't had a real impact into the game. He can work his way into the game, but he has struggled. Sinclair has gone up a cog. Simpson stands and delivers. High floating ball again. Not much penetration. Pounced on by King, the team lifter. Runs the 45 and kicks a goal! Magnificent play by David King. And if there's one man that can generate the Kangaroos back into action, it's that man on screen.
He's an excitement machine. The one bloke who has really given him a lift is young Sinclair. He's come on, he's had 4 or 5 quick ones. We know he had that little toe poke down there. But he's starting up back, but he's pushing forward, running the lines, creating options up the ground for his fellow teammates.
David King has made a statement for the Kangaroos. He's come out after half-time and decided to set the example for his teammates. 2 wonderful goals. All of a sudden, they get it back to 2 straight kicks.
2 to Severio Rocker and 2 to David King. Both those goals coming in this third term. Hazelby just continues to win the ball. Bell, his partner in crime. Great attacking play that time by Stevens. Norris tries to tickle the ball, hitting the ball hard as the skipper. Stevens does well, finds Spider Burton, tapped on by King. Harvey, old heads combine. Harvey from 45 metres out. This is great play. He's banged it through. Kangaroos within 10 points.
Norwich made a huge blue then. I mean, if you cannot take complete purchase on the footy and you're in that position, you do not hit it back into the corridor inside, because the Rude boys just ran onto the footy then and a goal resulted. If in doubt, hit it towards the boundary line, but not into the corridor.
Brent Harvey with his first goal of the afternoon, but more importantly for the Kangaroos, he's had 8 possessions in this quarter. It really has got going. So the usual suspects for the Kangaroos, getting them back into this game. Trail by 10 points inside the last 4 minutes of the third quarter.
Well, Matthew Sinclair had 3 possessions in the first half. He's now had 11 in this third term. And Harvey had 6 in the first half, and he's had 8 in this third quarter.
Interesting hairstyles sometimes here at Manuka Oval, and that is a beautiful kick. Lays it off beautifully. We talked about Simpson. He's put a couple of helicopters inside the forward 50 today, but that was a lovely kick to the advantage of Rocker. Lace out, and there it is there. Well, Clayton, I should say. My apologies to Adam Simpson. Beautiful kick. Rocker with 2 goals to his name. 2 goals, 3 in fact. This to get the margin back to 4 points. 29-18 coming into this game after a couple of lean weeks. No problems for Severio Rocker. Kangaroos get ever so close.
It's just interesting about the body language once Rocker kicked that goal. I mean, the North boys are all pumped up. They've come from all directions, and you could just see the heads of the Freo boys. Maybe I'm just looking in something that's not there, but their heads seem to dip a little bit. So it's going to be a real test of character for them now. They've just got to make sure that they've got to be round about the mark, about this distance now, when the siren goes to 3/4 time.
We've played 23 minutes into this third term, and the Kangaroos have dragged it back to a 4-point ball game. Severio Rocker has booted 3 goals, 11-7-73 to 10-9-69.
Continually ran and chased and harassed and put enough pressure on him, his opponent, to be able to spray the footy.
Going through a bit of a trough at the moment, Byron Pickett, just the 7 possessions today. Ball up between wing and half forward flank for the Kangaroos, and Morrell doing the ruck work. Pickett taken away by King. Hurried kick inside 50 and a good grab taken by Clayton. Well, he's playing his 100th game today, and he would dearly love to slot this one through. Yet to register a score. He's 100 games. Played 82 with the Kangaroos, and of course he started his career with Fitzroy, played 13 and then 5 with Brisbane when he was one of the magnificent 8 that were shuffled off.
Huge mistake then by
Brisbane.
By young Hayden. Should have punched the footy rather than trying to mark the ball, and it could cost them, and it has, and that's unforgivable. Ever caught behind and just pushed.
So Clayton kicks his first goal, and a very important one for the Kangaroos as they drag it back to a 4-point ball game. And we've played just over 7 minutes into this final quarter.
Well, the pressure's really on now, the young Dockers. As we can see here again, look, if you are caught behind that position, he knew exactly he had done wrong as soon as it happened. You must punch the ball if you are caught behind. The pressure's really on them now.
Yes, and just a little message, just a casual message came out from Fabio then. Just watching the game of footy, not involved in any sort of quiz.
Peter Bell that day, of course, played for the Kangaroos. He's now captain of the Dockers. They're just trying to juggle the ball. Smith had it for the Kangaroos. Loose ball. Make peace. Sinclair's been a good player since half-time. Again, the kick was a poor one. Morrell couldn't take it on the second grab. King just bustles his way through. Takes him on the charge. Runs to 25, runs to 30. King runs into the open goal. What a goal for the Kangaroos. He's absolutely inspired. That man on screen kicked 2 goals in the third term. He lifted the spirits of the Kangaroos. And for the first time today, the Kangaroos have hit the front.
Well, he's an infectious type player, David King. I mean, he only knows one way, and that's 100 miles an hour. And he gave him a huge lift in that third quarter with Sinclair getting plenty of run from the half-back line. And it was a great bit of play also by Harding to block the Freo player to allow King to run into the goal.
Are we going to have our third draw of the season? Simpson wants a repeat performance. 14 seconds remaining. 83 to 82. They've led the whole game. The Kangaroos hit the front after 15 minutes have been played in this final quarter. Plenty of players around the ball. No one up forward for the Kangaroos. Need a bit of luck here, the Dockers. It's going to be held up. It's going to be held up. It's going to be a ball up for the Kangaroos, and they are going to keep their finals hopes alive because they have won by 1 single point. They now go to 8 wins and 7 losses, Kevin. They fought hard for it, but it was the big names, wasn't it? It was the names we've come to know, the Harveys, the David Kings, and the Anthony Stevens and the Glenn Archer that decided to make a statement in that second half.
Well, they'd be very disappointed, bitterly disappointed, the Dockers. They led for the entire game, just in those dying moments when the Kangaroos got in front. With that great solo effort by David King when he broke the tackle, just bustled his way out of trouble, charged inside 50 and kicked a great goal.
Well,
they pinched it.
We only saw 8 goals for the second half. King got 3 of them. And certainly he was one of the prime movers. As per normal for the Kangaroos was Adam Simpson, and Mark Doran is with Adam Simpson right now.